Hello, this is Janne. This video's purpose is to give you simple explanation what is pain and what kind of pain mechanism do people have. Healthcare personnel, we tend to use that kind of terminology that is really difficult to understand. Purpose of this video is to break down those difficult terms in easier way. Why do we have the pain? It comes from the evolution and we need it to learn new set of skills to survive way more better. What is definition of the pain? An unpleasant sensory and emotional experience associated with or resembling that associated with actual or potential tissue damage. When we think about the peripheral nociception, the stuff what makes the sensations to travel to our brains, we have group 1. Well, if I feel touch in the finger, it starts to go to my central spine, it will going to go to my brain, and it will going to have this myelin sheath top of it. When we go for the ENMG studies, and they will going to check how fast is the nerves, if there is a lack of transportations in that fiber, it will going to make certain kind of results from it. In group 2, there is the small and slow reacting nociceptors, what has this high threshold level and, for example, mechanical stimulus or high temperature. They will going to activate themselves a bit more slower compared to the group 1. In group 3, we have these C fibers, what are slow reacting. They don't have this myelin sheath top of it, and they are responsible for the observation of the pain perception. Those are the feelings what we get from our body. The C fibers are polymodalic. If you get certain kind of sensory input all the time, those C fibers might come to play and they might start delivering the message to our brain that okay, we are having these kind of feelings in our body. When we go for the ENMG and they will going to check how fast is the nerves, they won't be seeing what is the response in there, in the C fibers. I was in professional courses concerning about the pain, and this was really good example from it. Mosquitoes. We have a lot of them in Finland. Once the mosquito comes to the skin and it will going to sting to my arm, the nociception from that starts to go to my central spine, and after that it goes to my brain, and the brain thinks, okay, mosquitoes has sting over there, easy peasy, been there, no threat to the life, everything is okay. But if I think myself to some sort of exotic country, the mosquito stings me, the travel of the signals is same to our head and to brains, and after that my brain starts to think, okay, do I have my vaccines all good or do I not? If I start to interpret that it might be threat to my life or to my health, the same stuff is way more different after that. The emotions really affect on the pain perception. First, let's start with the easy one. Mechanic pain. Mechanic pain is usually that kind of, okay, you can point the place where you're feeling the pain. It comes, goes, comes, goes, comes, goes. Easy peasy. Find the restricted movement, try to mobilize it. If it helps or decreases the pain, then you are going to right direction. You will going to need guide how to do it by yourself. Another example could be angle in the squats. The dorsiflexion, so bending the angle upwards is limited or restricted. It's hard to go down. We want to get the ankle also mobilize it if that's the case. Inflammation pain. Typical in inflammation, there is this feeling of swelliness, there might be this redness in the area of or feel of pressure. It might increase, for example, from the resting, or it might be present during the nights. In the mornings when you start walking or moving the inflamed area, it might feel stiff, but once you start moving, it will going to ease itself. Usually in inflammation pain, the moving and the elevation helps a bit, and also anti-inflammatory medicine cuts the pain a certain amount downwards. But inflammation is quite normal reaction at the body. It starts to heal itself. Time is important factor concerning about the inflammation pain. Concerning about the ischemic pain, that is the situation when the muscle cannot hold on anymore. For example, I will going to take 5 kilos hand weight to my arm. Now the actins and myosins of the muscles are tied together. The vessels cannot bring new oxygen or new nutrients for the muscle to work. It will going to end up in the milk exit threshold, and once you reach the threshold of the milk exit, then you need to drop your arm down and relax. During that, the muscle is relaxed, there is circulation bringing new nutrients and air also to the muscle. So once you start doing again, you are able to do it, but you are not able to do it as long as the first time, because there is this milk exit what is present all the time. Typical situation, for example, for the ischemic pain is a low back client. He might or she might tell me that, okay, once she is standing for a prolonged periods, the back starts to go really tight, and after that she or he needs to sit down for a bit, and after that they can continue easily. Typically in ischemic pain, the moving sports massage or, for example, warm can ease the pain. Those are the factors what will going to increase the circulation in that area. It makes the issue go a bit more less. If the targeted area is clear, if there is a motivation, you can easily start exercising to get rid of that kind of pain. But if it's only about the stiffness of the structures in the particular area, only the increasing of the circulation mostly helps. Peripheral neurogenic pain. Well, let's take medial nerve. It starts from the cervical spine, it comes from here, it innervates this part of the hand. When we irritate our nerves, the symptoms are typically electric, tingling, numbness, sharp pain, burning, or something like that. It might come from the certain movement or for certain posture. And typically there is also posture what eases the pain. If I want to lose the pain in my medial nerve, I will need to place my hand like that. There won't be any pull of the nerve or irritation of the nerve. In peripheral neurogenic pain, there might be trauma or surgery or different kind of long story on the background. When we think about the neuropatic pain, there is typically damage or disease on the background, and it might be similar compared to neurogenic pain, but we need to rule out those. Nosiplastic pain. Well, if you go to the Google and put dermatomes, you will going to find these dermatome maps all around the body. They are neuroanatomical locations. In nosiplastic pain, the client usually tells that, okay, the story on the background sounds a bit weird. The client doesn't really know how or when did it come, but it started to increasing it by time. The issue might be, for example, in whole back or whole leg or in both arms. They are not that neuroanatomic location, they are wider areas. In that kind of situation, for example, bad recovery, bad night or stressful life might be increasing the symptoms. Us as a healthcare professionals, we need to be asking that kind of questions, and is there any path between those? On the background, there is no evidence from the actual or threatened tissue damage. Chronic pain is difficult stuff. From Abkarian 2013, there was this, not research, it was more like information from the chronic pain. On the chronic pain, there is a mechanism of pain and memory interactions on the background. If you have wrote from the Pavlov's dogs, Pavlov ringed the bell and gave meat to dogs, and they got used to it. Difficulties with the chronic pain is that people tend to get used to it. It's hard to tackle that kind of stuff. Let's take an example from the everyday activities. You are driving the car, you end up in a situation when you need to react fast on the stuff around you. Once the adrenaline kicks in, you will going to notice that, okay, the heart rate is elevated, your lungs are doing better work, circulation is everywhere, your senses are really sharp and precise. When the situation ends, you will going to feel this fatigue and relaxation because the the situation is over. And it's so fast that it's really easy to recognize. Think about the cortisol in the system of our body. It has similar effects, but the level and increasing of the cortisol comes in a longer period. So difficulties with that is when you think about situation now, when you think about the situation before the pain started, you need to think that what has changed and how. But with the chronic pain, life can be shit sometimes. You need to adapt to situation, and with the clients with the chronic pain, it's all about how to find the motivation to continue. What is the stuff what that kind of client really likes? Because once we are going to that direction, once we are starting to get these different kind of feelings, then it's going to good direction. Last is iatrogenic pain. Difficulties with the iatrogenic pain is that we as a healthcare personnel, we like to investigate stuff. Sometimes there might be misdiagnosis, sometimes there might be overtreatment, or there might be inappropriate information on the background. Let's take an example. Client has low back pain. He goes for the magnetic resonance pictures. There is a degeneration at the low back structures, and there might be some sort of disc bulge. As long as the, for example, disc bulge doesn't correlate with the client's symptoms, okay, there is disc bulge. But if in that situation somebody says to client that okay, your back is bad, it never going to be healed again, your back looks like it's 20 years older person's back. Sorry, we have done it. Because clients start to think that they are broken, there is something wrong in their system, and that is the limitations, and those are the things what makes the situation that they cannot go better and get rid of the back pain. We are the cause of the iatrogenic pain. For example, in Oulu, we have this cohort 66 and 86. Persons born in 66 and 86, they have started to gather information before the birth of that individual. And purpose of that is to find out what is the good ways or what kind of things affect the people's life in the long run. In that cohort studies, there is N of 20,000 persons. They are trying to find out what is like a normal variance in, for example, magnetic resonance pictures. If there is a really weird one, it will going to pop it out, and you can after that, well, the doctors from the radiology can interpret the findings in that picture. But they try to find out what is normal variance in the pictures, and it would be very good. Time will tell when it comes out. But clear take from this. There is a lot of pictures findings, and if they don't correlate with the symptoms, then it's normal. It's normal to get degeneration to low back. It's normal to have disc bulges and stuff like that. You will going to get through it.